matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Heat Check podcast. Again, I say it every week. If you don't know by now who I am, you ain't been listening. My name is Mr. Chaos, my brother from another mother, PR, Sal, whatever you want to call us. We're the Heat Check, and we're back. I know it's been a couple of weeks. Um, just some personal stuff going on with me. Sal was traveling and doing stuff with the family, so instead of me trying to do this all alone and or trying to find a sit in, I just said, you know what, let me give myself a break. Let Sal relax with the fam and go celebrate the good people in his life, and we'll go when you get back. So, how was your trip with the fam?
Man, it was good, man. We went to Arkansas for my little sister just to chill out, have some time and just get out of Texas. We drove there. It was a 7-hour, 8-hour drive. It was horrendous. Driving sucks.
Yeah, I can only imagine that. I've never been to Arkansas because
It's cold right now. Not like cold, but clearly we know Texas, we don't know what weather we want to have throughout the day. Um, it's pretty consistent up there. It's consistent with the current uh, month of the year. So it is cool, chill, low 40s, high 80s.
oh, that's
So,
fantastic.
it's good weather. My wife, on the other hand, was freezing, but not me.
That would have been perfect weather for you, boy. I
You know?
love like now that we're starting to kind of San Antonio's getting a little bit cooler in the morning. When
Right.
I go to smoke my cigarette, I got my smoking jacket on. Like,
You can go outside. Listen, I feel like this is around the weather where you can leave water bottles in your car and they'll still be cold by the time you
it,
get. That's the good weather. You know what I'm saying?
yes, it's good football weather.
Yes.
Like,
Hallelujah.
you remember being young. Like, you and I both grew up. You grew up in the Midwest, but I grew up in Virginia, both heavy snow territories in the winter,
Yeah.
right? So we grew up in December, November, December, playing football. Like, there was a church by my house, and the whole side field was completely, there was no trees. They just let the neighborhood kids play football whenever they wanted. Like, they had it painted and everything. They had lines on it and everything. That's how cool this church
Listen,
was.
you gotta go big or go home.
Hey man, they knew how to get the youth in the neighborhood to come to
I'm like,
church, bro.
I was like, well, since you're doing this, like the least I could do is show up.
Yeah, exactly. So they we used to go out there and just beat the shit out of each other, tackle football in the snow.
Gotta love it. Gotta love playing tackle football in the snow.
It's fantastic.
I miss the snow. Like people think I'm crazy when I was like, they're like, why would you miss the snow? It's cold. I was like, listen, y'all got to confuse when it snows. It doesn't mean it's always going to be cold. Like I remember the very best part of snow. When we was kids, we were dumb. We would put Pam underneath a cookie sheet and go down the hill sledding. It was probably the biggest mistake. We didn't think it through. We were also like 8 or 9 years old, so we were not doing intelligent decisions back then.
Yeah. We used plastic laundry baskets. I
You
mean,
got to
look,
use what you got.
you
You
got to
got to
use
use what you got.
bro, I've seen people slide down on those big like curved flathead shovel things. Like,
Yo, my friend used to do that. I was like, you bugging out.
you're
You
gonna you're
bugging.
gonna
You're gonna
wind
die.
up with a shovel stabbed in your back. Like, nah,
Pass.
I'm good. I'm good. Um, as we know, the NFL's been a little
Hectic,
weird, actually.
weird, confusing, different.
Yeah,
Nothing
but
is what it seems.
no. I think when you think a team is just gonna go in and blow somebody out, they end up not, unless you're the San Francisco 49ers. And when you think that a team is going to go in and compete, Dallas, with the Niners, they all stayed on the plane.
Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. After like the third quarter, I kind of turned that game off because it was pretty much it was over.
D-
Like it was done. Like San Francisco destroyed them in every aspect of the game, from special teams, defense, offense, it was just a massacre. It's like like you said, they all stayed at the hotel or something. Like
This
10 points is all you could do.
that I'm telling you, what this shows to me is that if you have elite line play on defensive line and offensive line, you're going to spank everybody. You
And
have a good chance to win every single game. Like Philly is still 5-0. We haven't
yeah,
been playing the greatest ball, but what's happening is you're starting to see our rookies get really hot. You're starting to
yeah.
see Jalen and AJ and now Dallas and Devontae kind of starting to mesh back together. The first month of a season, you're gonna have you're just gonna have problems, especially
Yeah.
now. Nobody plays their starters in the preseason, and I
And
think,
clearly that's showing. That's
oh yeah,
showing and telling now. Cause it's like I understand you don't, especially those veterans have been playing the game, for a
yeah,
few years. I understand you don't want to put them out there that much. However, you still got to get those reps, especially if you're getting new line put in and you're getting new weapons out there. You want to find some type of chemistry outside of just training camp and practices or those, dual practices. Like, because you can only do so much contact
yeah,
there that you can't do whether it's preseason or not. Like, you you need that chemistry to build up, and it's like if you haven't been playing for, let's just say, for example, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Smith, you're not expecting them to do every series in preseason because you already have that built
yeah,
chemistry. But like with Jalen Carter coming in as a rookie, you want him, if that's your future franchise player for the defensive side of the ball, you want him to be able to mesh with what you have already.
yep,
So you want those veterans out there to mix and match and to figure out which players, what slot, what position. Because if you have to move Jalen Carter from the left side or the right side or whatever the case may be, you want to be able to know, okay, well, if we put him on the right, who's going to be on his left, vice versa,
yeah.
And I feel like Dallas, this was the concerning thing for me. You've got Brock Purdy having the number one scoring offense in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? And it shows every single game. Granted, their biggest hurdle, I guess you could say, was the Rams, but for the most part, they're scoring 24 to 30 points a game, regardless. And their defense is still holding their side of the ball. But then you got Dallas, which is the second defense in the league, and you just had the Niners drop 42 on you.
Yep.
Like that's that's telling in every way because it's like I don't know. It wasn't pretty for Dallas on Sunday night. It wasn't pretty, and them being 3-2, does that show? Is that overselling them, or is that where they should be?
For the
Because
count,
you lost to the Cardinals,
yeah,
and then you lost to the Niners, which are two different teams when you look at the records right now. So it's
and
like,
yeah,
what does that tell you about the Cowboys as a whole?
yeah. I think what it tells me is that I feel very sorry for Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons by far is the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, by far. Like there's
No
not,
arguments. There's not an argument for me there.
yeah. Um Dak is showing that he is who Eagles fans have always thought he is. He is Black Kirk Cousins.
What did LaShawn McCoy say
Oh,
on
Dak is ass.
he's ass.
He's ass. Shady,
Like
look, Shady has been cutting up Dak for 2 years now, and people thought, like, look,
I'm like he's not wrong at this point. If you look at the way he's been playing these last couple years, it's like what are you doing, my guy?
I don't think he's completely ass, but I
He's not
think,
top 10.
oh no, I think
There's
he's,
just no way.
I don't think he's top 15 at this point. I think he might be top 20. Um, but that's all
All that
relative. Once
money
you get,
though,
yo,
all that money.
the only quarterback contract really worth that makes me laugh more than Dax is Daniel Jones's.
I know New York has to be
Oh,
just
Brian
punching
Dable
it.
is.
punching the air right now.
Brian Dable is pissed. Pissed. All right, let me see if I can see this. No, that's a report. Okay, I had some stats up. I can't find them, but so essentially, if you look at the Niners in comparison with the Eagles offensively, they're not that much better. They've had a couple of games where they've spanked their opponents versus Philly not being able to do that yet. But this is what I will say. Right now, number one scoring offense in the league is San Francisco.
Right.
I don't think they have a better defense than Philly. I don't. I think Philly's defense is much more injured than San Francisco's was or is. But I think now we just got Bradley Roby, who is in our slot corner position.
Right.
We have James Bradbury is back out on the outside where a Pro Bowl cornerback should be, along with Darius Slay. Reed Blankenship, our second year undrafted free agent, is balling. I mean, this kid came out from nowhere, and the first game he played last year, he picked off Aaron Rodgers. Tell me that's not a first game to remember.
So let me ask you this. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. As an Eagles fan, as one of the two teams left in the whole league right now, undefeated, just you and the Niners, and just happen to be in the same conference. So y'all are meeting up in week 13.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, for them, I feel like they have a very good shot to be undefeated by the time y'all get there.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same confidence as far as the schedule for you guys to be able to run the table to week 13?
No. Um, to week 13, I don't. Let's see. Here we go. Eagle schedule. Come on.
Because you got the Jets coming up.
Yeah, so we've got Jets is next. We should win that game. We should. There's no guarantees with Philly right now, so we should win that game. The Dolphins, that's gonna be.
It's gonna be funny.
I don't see a way that's gonna be an offensive explosion game because Miami doesn't have the talent to stop Jalen and AJ.
You
And
know what's gonna be funny about that game though?
what?
With Tua and Jalen, their
Yeah,
history already from college, and now they're just carrying over to the pros and having the type of year that they're both having. Like, that's gonna be sick to see on TV. To be like, all right, which one of you Alabama Roll Tide is gonna take this one?
yeah. I think we have to figure out how to neutralize Tyreek, which is damn near impossible to do. But if we can take that away, actually, you can't even just concentrate on that because they've got Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert. So,
And then if Achini is back by the time that game happens, I'm like, because I don't know the extent. Is he gone for 2-3 weeks?
who's that?
The rookie running back.
Oh, HN? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's on short-term IR.
So I'm like, but you still, like you said, and then like those three weapons alone, Waddle, Hill, and Mostert, like that's not
Yeah.
something to just, yeah, no. Them
You
jokers
have
just
to
attract me.
you have to scheme around those three guys.
And
I don't know if we're winning that game.
if you had to pick a loss from
Ooh.
now till San Francisco, who's it gonna be?
From now to San Francisco. So we've got
You
the
got
Commanders,
Jets,
Jets, Dolphins, Commanders,
Cowboys, Chiefs, and
girls,
Bills.
Chiefs and Bills. Bills.
And that the Bills is where you falter.
I think so. And so this is why I could see us winning in Miami. Their defense is ass. Like ass. And Jalen Ramsey's not gonna be back by the time that game comes. So
Yeah.
I think what's gonna have to happen is one, Miami's run defense is trash, complete trash.
But also y'all's run is
Is
different than it was last year. It's completely different. And
yeah,
as far as like y'all are more more balanced as a running back room this year, I feel, than you were last year.
Yeah,
And
Miles.
Swift is miles ahead, no pun intended,
Yeah,
than Miles Sanders.
we can see. Look at him on Carolina. The dude's
Right.
not getting anything. Um, so yeah, I think if we do to the Dolphins what we did to the Rams and we control, if we have 38-minute time of possession and they have 22 or whatever
Right.
it is, we win that game.
I can
Because
see that.
if Tyreek Hill ain't on the field, how's he going to
There's no
score
points on
points?
the board.
Yeah. So,
So let me ask you this next question.
yep.
Can I see, barring, I think the only question marks on their schedule for San Francisco is probably Jacksonville, depending on who shows up,
Yep.
the Seahawks twice, and you guys.
Yep.
They could run the table and go 17-0.
They could, but they won't.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if any, if you, and this is no disrespect to the Eagles, but I feel
No,
like they
they
have the better shot of
yeah.
going 17-0 than you guys do.
I agree because what happens is San Francisco overwhelms people. They San Francisco is one of those teams that's going to score fast. Their
Right.
defense is going to hit you hard as hell, and if you ain't got a quarterback who can extend
Play.
plays, you're done. You're done. So,
And if you're not managing that clock right, you're you're
oh
you're
yeah,
you're going to be screwed. Because
it's
if
this.
the longer Brock Purdy's able to get on that field, it's almost like a Patrick Mahomes effect. The more chances he gets to be on that field, the worse it's going to be for the other team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. The one weakness that San Francisco has really that Philly can exploit is our D line is better than their O line. Now, San
But that
Francisco,
also was the same situation with San Francisco and Dallas.
yes, but here's the difference, right? Like our D line, what has Dallas is what who did they draft? They drafted Mozzie Smith, right?
He didn't do not Tatum Tata Sunday night.
Yeah.
Not nothing.
Our our offensive line made Aaron Donald non-existent. He got one pressure the entire game. And not only that, he was playing up against a backup guard. So he wasn't even playing our full starting line. San Francisco, I take nothing away from San Francisco. I
Right.
think in the NFL right now, it's San Francisco, Philly, Chiefs, Bills. Those are my top 4 teams.
You not gonna put Detroit up there?
No.
You
Top
don't trust
4?
them yet?
Top 4? No.
I'd take Detroit over Kansas City right now. You heard it here first.
I can't. I saw what Patrick Mahomes can do in the Super Bowl. I can't.
I'm just saying, Detroit's, and this is coming from a Bears fan, so I kind of threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, I know that you might as well have stabbed your face saying that shit.
But I get it. I agree. Right now, as it stands, I would put San Francisco over Eagles, but it's not by a lot, you know.
No.
But it's like you said, San Francisco. It's something about them that it's like it's intimidating almost to go into that stadium, especially if you got to play at Levi Stadium and you got to go against that crowd. I'm not saying it's the loudest crowd in the NFL because it's by far not even close, but they're rowdy, and when you have somebody like Brock Purdy that's not getting paid like a superstar quarterback, and he
Yeah.
has nothing to lose in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And he has all the momentum coming in from what happened last year to this year, where he hasn't lost a regular season game yet. Like he's putting it all out there, and it shows every Sunday at on the scoreboard. Like he's putting points on the board. His defense is holding it down to allow him to get back on the field. And at the end of the day, that's what you want as a quarterback, to know that your defense is going to watch your back so that way you can get back on the field quicker to put them points on the board. And it
Yeah.
showed that on Sunday night in prime time. You put 42 on America's team. Well, I don't know who's America, but whatever.
America's former team because fucking Cowboys.
Is it
I just think San Francisco is flashier right now because they're
Yeah.
healthier, right? But they're not. How do I put this? San Francisco is flash. They're super talented, right?
Yeah.
But what Philly has that San Francisco doesn't have, even with a Bosa on their team, is we are nasty. We are
Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a
we are
shadow of a doubt.
we are bully. We're playing a bully brand of football.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. I want to. I thought I wanted Dallas versus Philly in the NFC title game this year.
Y'all
Obviously,
need a rematch.
that's not
You
gonna
need
happen. Oh
you need
yeah.
a rematch of last year.
Oh yes. I
You need
want
it.
to. I I, I was gonna say Candlestick Park. Holy shit, that's how old we are.
Father God.
Levi Stadium, Candlestick Park. Oh my god, that's like late '90s. Holy
Sir,
shit,
you showed your age.
really bad there. Levi Stadium is hostile. 49ers fans travel really well, but Philly fans travel just as good.
Y'all are one of the most disrespectful human beings on this planet when it
Did
comes
you
to
see?
Philadelphia games. Y'all are such dickheads.
Did you see us take over the entire?
Y'all are a bunch of dickheads. This is the thing. I thought being a Philly fan was bad, right? And as a baseball person, I thought being a Phillies fan is stupid. But when last year all three of y'all jokers were in the playoffs or in somewhat of a relevance of,
Mhm.
just the fact that the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, Embiid won the MVP, Philly was in the World Series. Granted, none of y'all won anything that year. But the fact that y'all were able to pull that whole trifecta in one calendar year, I can only imagine if all three of y'all would have actually won the title in 1 year, Philadelphia would have been flipped upside down for all of 2022.
Bro, if if the Sixers win the title, if the Sixers win the freaking NBA championship, the Phillies win the World Series, and the Birds win the Lombardi, I don't know that the state of Pennsylvania will have enough room to exist anymore.
And that's not
Like
even the worst part.
we're bad.
You would have never shut the hell up on the chat.
Oh my god.
You would have been
Oh,
talking so much cash. Couldn't
cash.
nobody shut you up at
Nope.
all. Somebody say, Phyllis suck. We still win the title, bitch. Shut up.
Cash money shit. I would have been yo. You can't look.
It would have been a wrap.
If we,
Philadelphia would have been it would have been World War III.
yeah,
It would have been terrible.
it it's yo, I'm telling you, it would have been the worst thing that could have happened to that
Like it
chat
was already
room.
bad enough. It was already
Yeah.
bad enough that both of y'all went to y'all's title game for y'all's sport in baseball and football in the
And not
same
just
calendar
went,
year.
dominated competition the entire year, both of them.
Like
I just need I look, I'm not a Sixers fan. I don't watch Sixers basketball. And in fact, I'm not as big of a basketball fan as I used to be. But if Joel Embiid wins a title in Philadelphia, I don't know who the bigger legend would be, Big Dick Nick or Joel Embiid. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna put this out here right now.
I think it's Nick
Y'all's
Foles, though.
20 y'all listen, 2017 or was 2017 was a fantastic year for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Nick Foles showed his ass. Showed
To
his
the
ass.
to the world, to the greatest quarterback in the
Listen, there's
world.
only been two quarterbacks in this world to dominate Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. Eli Manning and Nick Foles. And
Did
not
you
just
see?
dominate him. They made that man he made that man go to another team.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? All right. So, however, comma, if Joel Embiid, for some miraculous reason, brings the finals championship to the city of Philadelphia as a 76ers, there's only two people that will. There's only one other person that's relevant in Philadelphia when it comes to 76ers. And you're going to have to add somebody else now. And that's going to be Joel Embiid. but he's still going to be second to Allen Iverson. However,
I don't know, dude. If Joel Embiid brings a
Allen
Larry
Iverson is the
O'Brien,
GOAT in Philly. Ain't no way in hell he's going to relinquish that number one spot. However, Joel Embiid could make a strong case to be that man
I
of
will
Philly if he could bring Sixers a championship before he walks out of there.
I will tell you this. Joel Embiid, AI is as close to a deity in Philadelphia as you can possibly get. He is the answer.
He
There
is
are still
Philly.
there are still billboards, not billboards, but like murals and shit in Philly of AI's portrait. Like he is God
You
in
can't be a
Philly. That's
Sixers fan and not acknowledge
no,
Allen
exactly.
Iverson as the guy.
Yeah, he's that guy. He just is. But I will tell you what, if Joel Embiid brings a title to the city, I think he goes 1B to Allen Iverson's 1A.
I can allow that. I can allow that.
But if Jalen Hurts brings a title to the Eagles in his fourth year as a quarterback, he would be the first black quarterback in Eagles history to win a championship, which is going to be huge for the city. Two, he will have shown everybody that just because I'm mobile doesn't mean I can't be the best quarterback in the league. Actually, he showed them that last year when he outperformed Patty Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
I'm glad you brought up the mobile situation. I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna hit on it though.
The other thing is I really do think if Jalen brings a title, he like I think he'll surpass Randall Cunningham and Donovan McNabb as the favorite quarterbacks ever in Philly.
I feel like he's already passed on Vic McNabb, to be honest.
Yeah,
In the
well,
sense of popularity,
yeah, well,
he's
yeah.
passed him. Randall
That's
Cunningham, it would have to take a Lombardi Trophy for him to
yeah.
pass
Yeah,
Randall
because
Cunningham.
well, Donovan McNabb does kind of lost the respect of the city when he puked in the Super Bowl. And then, so what were you talking about?
So
Running.
I saw you I saw a clip on RG3's podcast. He was talking to Cam Newton. He was talking about the standard now of days for quarterbacks is dual threat, mobile and stay in the pocket. Staying in the pocket is not a normal thing anymore. It's still being done, like Goff, Stafford. There's certain quarterbacks that stay in the pocket. But like back in the day, when Cam came in, Michael Vick, RG3, being mobile was almost like a sin. Like you need to stay your little butt in the pocket, more than 3 or 4 seconds.
Or play running
Now,
back.
right now, all of a sudden, being a mobile quarterback, it's like this holy grail of a player because it's like, oh wait, you got feet and you can throw. Bet say less. So it's
You
like
yeah, you almost
like
can't play quarterback in the league anymore
if you
without
can't
being
move,
mobile.
you gotta move. Cause it's like what you staying in the pocket for? These jokers is coming at you at 4.40s. You gotta run.
Yeah, that's the thing is, look, Lawrence Taylor was fantastic, but he was big as shit and he was slow.
They not slow no more.
Hassan Reddick ran a 4.458. Nolan Smith, who isn't even starting on the edge yet, Nolan Smith ran a 4.39,
Perfect example.
6'2", 240.
Aaron Darnold coming at Geno Smith. What did he say?
Oh my
When he
God.
like Aaron Darnold is what, like 5'11, 5'10, but he's a solid 280, 290. I don't want to get hit by that.
He literally, Aaron Donald
He
looks like a
barely
mini
got a
fridge.
neck.
He looks like a mini fridge with legs.
I don't want to get hit by that on a
No,
constant basis.
but think about it now too. Like now you have guys who are still just as big, and obviously I'm gonna use Jalen Carter as an example. Jalen Carter, did you see that last sack he had on Matthew Stafford where he just body slammed him to his face on the ground? Imagine Aaron Donald is bad enough, right? Like you said, 5'10, 280. Jalen Carter is 6'3, 360, moving at a 4.4 speed. It's literally like it's getting hit by a motorized vending machine on nitrous. Like
I
it
don't want any part of that.
no.
None
So
of my bones want that.
you have to be a mobile, moving, decision-making quarterback. Because if you
Right.
can't make decisions,
So I want to segue into the next part.
Yep.
So for me, I am I'm still on par with Justin Field is my quarterback. I know we are 1-4. We should be 2-3, but it's almost like that loss to Denver wasn't on Justin Fields completely. Yes, he threw that whack ass little interception towards the end, which cost us the game. However, we had a 21-7 point lead. It makes no sense that we let these jokers come back to beat us in the last quarter. Makes no sense. And then he still had a solid game outside of that pick. DJ Moore showed his ass off. I'm like, they're finally starting to allow. I think they're letting Justin be Justin, because when you people can say, well, it's just Washington. I don't care. We still dropped 40 on them.
It's just Washington. People see that shit bugs me. And
But
this is
y'all
why
was really hyping them up in the beginning of the season when they went 2-0.
Chase.
So what's the difference now?
So
There's
all
no
of a
difference.
sudden they're trash. Like, how does
No,
that work?
no,
This that
it's
bugs me. Like everybody
no.
last year
These
was like,
these are professionals.
everybody last year was like, oh, Philly didn't beat nobody. There's motherfucker. We're not playing Appalachian State.
These are all professional teams.
These are
They all
pro
got the same
guys.
resources.
Like, come on, man. When we
Don't
dominated,
move that bull. Don't move the goalpost when it feels convenient for your team. Don't
yeah,
listen.
that's
We
it's crazy.
dominated. We put 40 on them. We stopped them, and we played our asses off. Period.
That's the
And,
ceiling. You found out what you guys' ceiling is. The
and
problem is
so
you don't know where Justin Fields, not just Justin Fields. I don't want to place it all on him because your head coach is fucking up. But
it's supposed to be a defensive specialist, but we over here just looking
oof.
like doo doo shit.
So the whole team, like now you have to find out where your floor is, right? Like
Yeah,
your ceiling is let's lay
we know
40
what we're
points.
capable of.
Yeah, let's lay
Clearly,
40 points on an NFL team. Your floor is could be we don't win another game in the league this year.
listen, it was almost a whole year before we won a game after this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was almost a whole calendar year before we won a game. So that could possibly happen all over again. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? It could happen all over again. And it's like, I'm tired of people saying, well, y'all need to go get Caleb Williams. I don't want him. I want Justin Fields because I know what his potential is. I
Yeah.
just need a coach that sees the same potential as him and flourishes and knows how to work a quarterback.
You
That's all
guys
I need.
you guys need
Now, if we want to draft Marvin Harrison to
oh
line up along DJ Moore, by all means, Carolina, keep on tanking so we can take your number one pick.
yeah, really. What you guys need is a an offensive coordinator like a Shane Steichen or Frank Reich or somebody who is a quarterback guru, but not just
Somebody.
a quarterback guru, somebody who knows how to work with mobile, running, heavy, athletic quarterbacks. Shane
Because it's not that he
Steichen,
can't
Frank Reich.
pass. Because clearly he's showing that he can pass the
Oh,
ball.
he can run
It's
his ass
showing.
off. But you need somebody to teach him how to balance when to do the run, when to look. Jalen had to learn it last year. When
Right.
do you run? When do you step up into the pocket? And if you look at Jalen now versus his first 2 years, Jalen is stepping up in the pocket. He's making touchdown passes and taking hits. Like the dude is making good throws. Justin needs somebody to sit with him, not just your OC, not just your quarterback's coach, somebody to sit him down and say, look,
I know you want to run.
you are so athletically gifted. We get it. But if
We
you
saw it.
become one dimensional in this league, defenses will eat your soul.
Yeah.
Everybody is too good now. This isn't, there's no Washington Generals in the NFL. Like, this is
These
not
aren't
going
the
to happen.
replacements.
No.
It's not
So,
the replacements. These are
so
real athletes that are moving. Even on the sorriest team, you still got people that can move. And
I
it's
mean,
like,
Tennessee is absolute trash. You know, you still have to scheme and game plan for Derrick Henry because
I'm
you,
like, he's still there.
so
He's
look,
still there.
this is my thing. Justin Fields, I don't think you guys should ever tank for Caleb Williams. I watched a couple of his highlight packages. He doesn't do anything, not one thing better than Justin Fields does. Not one. And that's at the college level, where it's much slower than at the pro level, right?
Yeah,
Marvin Harrison Jr.,
it'd
the
be
problem is
insane.
you guys need an offensive line.
Oh, you already know me.
Yeah,
The first thing I want, I need you to stack that box.
you have to.
I need you to stack the box, work from the inside out.
If
I feel like we have enough pieces offensively, that we can make it work. You know what I'm saying? We don't. Are we flashy like that? Like some teams, like you guys, you got two that could,
yeah,
Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, they're 1-1. You know what I'm saying? Some
yeah,
teams aren't graced with that kind of receivers on each side and that running back room. However, we ain't got the worst offensive room in the league.
no.
I refuse to believe that. However,
You hung
if
up 40
it's
points on an NFL team. Of course you don't have the worst.
so, I'm like, we didn't get 70 put on us. Sorry, Miami.
Oh man, Russell
But
Wilson.
but it's like I I feel like people's like, well, we should have drafted Jalen Carter. It's like, yes. Should we have drafted Jalen Carter? Absolutely. But I feel like I don't want to be looked at like as Baltimore in 2000, where we're winning games because our offense can't do shit. Like
But
that is tough to, especially when you know that you have the kind of quarterback that Justin Fields. I don't want. He's not Trent Dilfer type scenario. You know what I'm saying?
no.
This is a franchise quarterback. Am I thinking that he's going to be elite, top 5, top 3 quarterbacks? I don't know yet. But can he lead an offense? Clearly, we know that he can.
Yeah, because the
You
games
know,
where he actually gets support and he has a chance to look
it
like himself.
works.
Dude, even last year against Philadelphia, we had the best pass rush in the league last year by far.
Right.
Justin Fields escaped from a Hassan Reddick sack that any other quarterback would have been done for. And he ran it for like 40 yards on our defense. Like, this is the thing. Fields has he has all the potential in the world. Does he make bad decisions? Yes.
Yes.
But does he have somebody to show him why those are bad decisions? No.
No.
No, because Matt Eberflus, what is he doing? He's
He's
not an
defensive.
offensive guy.
He's a defensive coach.
So herein lies the problem. I don't think Ryan Poles is you guys' problem. I think Matt Eberflus is your problem. I think Eberflus as a defensive coordinator would be fantastic for you guys. As a head coach, he's absolute dog balls. Like, he is garbage because
Right.
he's not protecting you guys'. You have to protect a quarterback. Have to. Or you end up like Arizona. Now, granted, Josh Dobbs is playing out of his mind for a guy who's been in the league 8 years and never started. But if you don't protect Justin Fields, one, no quarterback is going to want to come play for you. And if they do, you're going to have to pay him such an exorbitant amount of money that you can't protect them.
And you're not going to be able to get anybody to protect because you got no money to pay nobody.
Or you're going to have to fuck around and go back and see what Jay Cutler's doing just so somebody can stand in the pocket.
I don't want that.
You don't want the
want
Cutler
that.
experiment again?
No, that was good while it lasted, and yeah, no.
No, it was bad while it lasted.
I would rather have Kyle Orton before I take Jay Cutler back.
That's funny. That's funny. I was gonna say, what's the other kid that you guys traded to Denver? Maybe it
Brian
wasn't
Greasy?
Denver. Greasy. That's him. Yeah.
He can stay wherever the hell he at.
I mean, you guys could call Ryan Fitzmagic back, and he'd probably answer his call.
I'm like, he could be a good veteran to help out.
Did he play
Justin
for you
Fields.
guys already?
No. I don't
You're
think
one
so.
of the half of the league that he didn't play for.
Yeah, I don't think he's had an opportunity for us yet.
No. So I will say, look, the Bears are in trouble, not from an athletic standpoint or a player standpoint. they're in trouble because there are holes that are easy to exploit on the offensive line. There are holes, and they're in trouble because, I mean, literally, eh, your secondary sometimes can be picked apart.
Yeah.
It just can be. Um, but I still wouldn't tank. I still
I
wouldn't tank.
don't want to tank. I'm like,
I just think Fields is too much of a he's too much of an asset. He has his ceiling is so high. Is
I'm just tired
so
of
high.
people dogging on him because he's like I think I shared you that one comparison in
Yeah.
the chat where they tried to say, well, Justin Fields is 5-22 and what's his bust faced? He played for the Raiders. What's his name?
Jamarcus Russell?
Jamarcus Russell was 5-22 in the same amount of games. I'm like, first of all, don't disrespect my guy Justin Fields with that name,
Yeah,
because
really.
my guy actually studies films and actually puts in the work on the field and in the locker room and in the weight room and in film. I'm like, Jamarcus Russell was just bad because he was just lazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just tired of them dogging and making it seem like Justin Fields is not a good quarterback when he is, and he's showing that he is a good quarterback. Like, there's no reason to doubt this man's skills. Like, outside of Kirk Cousins right now, he's the second the leader, second in passing touchdowns in the league right now with 11. The only person that has more is Kirk Cousins with 13.
And we know that those touchdowns don't mean shit, especially now that just well, we'll get to that in a second.
He doesn't have anybody to throw to anymore.
Oh
But
my
I'm just
god.
saying,
Yeah.
I'm like, are we gonna make the playoffs this year? Probably not. But can we win more games than we did last year? Absolutely. I still believe in 6 and 7 games possible for this year. Because I'm like, the potential is there. I'm like, we just gotta put the pieces together to make it work. And whoever's calling these offensive plays needs to put on some glasses or realize who your quarterback is, because you're not using him correctly sometimes. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know how many rushing yards he has this year. And let me
It's
let me look it up.
it's crazy. So I just pulled up some stats. This is how close the Eagles and the Niners are this year.
All right, I'm
Um,
listening.
Now this is not including week 5. This is all up until week 4. So Eagles have 118 points scored. 49ers have 125 points scored. So it's only a touchdown difference.
Okay.
Um, Total yards for the Eagles 1568. Total yards for the Niners 1592. Plays we have 281. They have 251. So we're on the field a lot longer than they are.
Right.
Yards per play, we have 5.6. They have 6.3. So they're up on us on that. Turnovers, where Jalen had a really weird first 4 weeks. First downs, so Jalen has 4 turnovers and the Niners only have 1 because Purdy hasn't thrown an interception and they're not fumbling at all this year. Um, First downs, we have 91, they have 99, super close. Completions, we have 88, they have 81. Passing attempts, we have 130. Um, they have 112, so we're a little bit higher on attempts, but we're also completing more. Passing yards, they have more 980, we have 907. Touchdowns, we're even 5 apiece. Interceptions, obviously we have 3, they have none. Net yards per pass attempt, they're killing us. 8.2 versus 6.4.
Mm-mm.
Passing first downs, they have 54, we have 39. Now, rushing attempts, we have 140, they have 132. Rushing yards, 661, they have 612. Rushing touchdowns, they're killing us 9 to 5. They also have Christian McCaffrey, who can
He's a
literally
monster.
run track circles around the entire field and still score a touchdown. Rushing yards per attempt, we're at 4.7. They're at 4.6. Rushing first downs, 43 for us, 35 for them. They get penalized. So they have one more penalty for us than us. They have 27, but their penalty yards is 234 versus 195 for us. They've given up 10 first downs by penalty, and it leads to a score 56% of the time. We are all right. Total yards per game, they have 398. We have 392. First downs per game, we have 22. They have 24. Completions per game, we have 22. They have 20. Passing attempts per game, we have 32. They have 28. Yards per game, passing yards, 245 versus 226. Rushing yards per game, 165, 153. So that's just offense. We're super close to the Niners. The problem is we're not winning as spectacularly, right? So I don't think the gap between the Eagles and the Niners are nearly as big as people think it is.
Yeah. I'm like, we just gotta wait to see what happens week 13, because
Oh,
that. I'm like, at this point, y'all are two top teams in the NFC. The only teams that are making any noise, if anything, it will probably be in the NFC. It's got to be
Detroit and
Detroit.
Seattle.
I'll give Seattle a little noise, but it's not crazy, and it's just it's a 2 team race right now. I feel like it's just Philly
Yeah,
and San Fran right now, with Detroit just being like, hey, I'm gonna here to mess somebody's schedule up. Watch, just hold
yeah,
my beer.
yeah. The AFC, the AFC is weird this year. Like,
It's backwards and upside
J-
down and
dude,
weird.
Joe Burrow's playing like ass. Josh Allen doesn't look the same. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs and they're still winning, but they
The
don't look.
Patriots are trash.
Oh, this got to be Bill Belichick's last year. It has to be. He's
I'm
got to
like,
retire. You're killing your legacy if you stay on past this year. Killing it.
you had Matt Patricia last year calling your offensive plays.
And you were still
How
winning
do
games.
you do that?
Well, look, that's the thing, is right. They were still winning games last year. You hire Bill O'Brien, and what happens?
Go to shit.
Um, that's
I'm
why I'm like,
like, the AFC
yeah,
is
it's
like, if you
weird.
go from left to right, like let's just run it down the board. AFC West, the only the Raiders are boo boo. Kansas City is
Kansas City.
going through some they're going through some woes right now. It's like they don't seem as dominant as they have been in the past years. Like, they look real beatable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The Raiders, man, the Chargers. I still don't know how to feel about that yet, because Staley got to go. That man has to go.
yeah.
And then the the the
The
the
coast.
shit storm that's going on in Broncos. It's like, that's just chaotic. Like, it's toxic
Let's
in
talk
Denver.
about that shit.
That
I
is some toxic stuff going on in Denver.
I don't think Sean Payton understands you can't get away with Drew Brees anymore as a quarterback.
And
You
the
can't
fact that you're
coach.
putting so much on Russell Wilson, sir, it's not Russell Wilson's fault that they had 70 points dropped on them.
Yeah. Well, you also cannot coach Russell Wilson the same way you coach Drew Brees. You
Two
can't.
different humans.
It's completely. I mean, play style is different, leadership is different. And then from what we're hearing in the locker room, like, did you hear the Marshawn Lynch thing he said about Russ? He was
Nobody
just
likes him.
he was like he was just a quarterback to me. He's nobody I would ever
Nobody
call.
likes Russell Wilson for some
Dude,
reason.
it's eh, look,
Does that hurt his legacy going forward?
yeah, absolutely. I don't know that Russell Wilson will get into the Hall of Fame ever because
Based off of what?
huh, you think he's gonna get in?
Eventually.
I don't think he's done enough.
Maybe. I'm like, that's like
But
60% of the people
that's
in the Hall
why
of Fame now.
we don't. That's why you and I don't vote for the Hall of Fame.
We would make bad decisions.
Oh, it would
I'm
be all
like,
Eagles and Bears.
like, if he doesn't make the Hall of Fame, will I be surprised? No.
No.
If he makes the Hall of Fame, will I be surprised? No. Will it happen right off the bat?
Oh
Absolutely not.
no, he's
It
gonna
will
be.
be a long wait for him to make it to the Hall of Fame.
What is it?
For
It's
sure.
the first after 10 years you have to wait to be a legacy ballot or something like that.
Something like that.
I think
Uh
I think it'll take about 5 years for him to get in.
I want to say 7,
Yeah,
maybe 8,
between 5
but
and 10.
but
Yeah.
he's definitely not going to make it in the first few years. If he does, it's definitely biased because he
Yeah.
has a ring, and for some reason having a ring holds weight. I'm not saying that it doesn't, because I'm like, Brett Favre only has one ring, but the difference between Brett Favre and Russell Wilson, Brett Favre was consistently good every year out. Like he
Yeah.
put on a show every time, no
And
matter where he played.
I don't think the ring should hold as much weight in the Hall of Fame conversation because look, I love Nick Foles.
Dan Marino ain't got no rings, and that man made it to the Hall of Fame.
That's what I'm saying. I love
Nick
Nick
Foles ain't
Foles.
making it to the Hall of Fame.
Nick Foles is not a Hall of Fame quarterback, but he has something that a lot of Hall of Fame quarterbacks don't have.
A
It's a
ring.
ring.
Trent
And
Dilfer has a ring.
not just that, he has a Super Bowl MVP. So
I'm
look,
like, that's cute.
but he's not
So
a
does
Hall
Joe
of Fame.
Flacco.
Yeah, that's true. Ugh. He was
So
an
I'm
Eagle
like,
for
having
like 15 seconds.
listen, having a ring and a Super Bowl MVP is great.
It's great.
It's good. It's good for your resume. If you want to become a coach, like, hey, I've done it. I've been there, seen
Or
it.
a GM or a scout
Whatever
or
the case
whatever.
is,
Yeah.
you have the pedigree to show that you could lead a team. Great. Doesn't mean you're Hall of Fame material.
No, I don't think so. And I don't think personally for me, I would never put Russ in because
So would you put Matt Ryan in over Russell Wilson?
Oh God, no. Matt Ryan is the most overhyped, underachieving quarterback in the last 20 years.
What about Stafford?
Stafford has a ring. I would put Stafford, but this is the other thing. Like, look, Stafford went to Detroit and was stuck.
Yeah.
Had Megatron, but they only could reach a certain
So
peak,
much.
right? If Stafford can get the Rams right again, I don't know how, because they don't have a first round pick for the next 47 years.
So one more Super Bowl puts him in automatically. No questions asked. Or is he already in no questions asked?
No, he's not in all no questions asked. I think you have to evaluate him. I think it depends on who his class is. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I won't even say 2 rings puts him in automatically, but I would put him in before I put Matt Ryan in.
All right, I'm gonna drop a few quarterbacks. All right, and I want you to tell me first ballot, eventually, or never.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna start off easy. Patty Holmes.
First ballot.
All right. What about Aaron Rodgers?
First ballot.
Tom Brady.
Unquestionably first ballot.
All right. Now here's where it gets a little spicy.
Okay.
All right. Jimmy G.
Never.
Never? Even with the 2 titles?
Jimmy
And all
Garoppolo? No.
Yeah. I'm
No.
just playing. That ain't happening.
I was about to say, I know you're
That ain't
tripping
happening.
right now.
Matthew Stafford.
Eventually. Even now, I think eventually. But if he can win like offensive player of the year, or I don't think he's MVP quality candidate, but if he can get the Rams looking right again with having 0 first round picks, I think it goes to his leadership. I think he could. I think he's eventually in. I don't think he could do enough unless he wins the next 3 Super Bowls. I don't think he's ever going to be first ballot.
Derek Carr.
Never.
Tony Romo.
Never.
Not even eventually?
No, he didn't do anything.
All right. Let me think. I gotta pick one more quarterback.
Dude, you can pick as many quarterbacks as you. I love it.
I got it. I got one that I know you're gonna hate.
Who?
You're gonna hate this person.
Okay.
Ben Roethlisberger. Just say it. You know you don't want to say it, but say it. Just get it out.
As a player, eventually.
As a human,
Never. Not ever. Not ever, ever, ever. Like you, Ben. This is how much I despise Ben Roethlisberger. You could have a worst person in the world Hall of Fame, and I don't think he's good enough for that Hall of Fame.
You
Like
despise that man so much like
I
that?
do, I really do. And it's
Damn.
just because of his personal. Like I think he was gifted
But that's the
athletically.
that's the thing though. You can't put personal into voting because at the end of the day, the Hall of Fame is about your stats.
Look, I
Don't
think
be that. Don't be that media guy that makes their votes based off of their personal biased opinion about a human. Now I get it. Ben Roethlisberger is a human trash bag walking.
yes.
However, comma,
Like I said, based on stats and based on him as a player, I think he gets in eventually. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer though.
I can give you that. Who
Yeah,
would you rather? Who do you think deserves the Hall of Fame bid more, Eli Manning or Ben Roethlisberger?
Eli Manning, unquestionably. You there's there's historical significance, right? Where the Patriots go undefeated in the regular season, and
And
by
he
all
destroys all of them dreams and hopes. Gone.
stomps on them. Bro, I was in Iraq. Actually, you were in Iraq right before this happened.
Yeah, buddy.
We were in Iraq when this happened. We didn't even know each other, and we were at the
I
same base.
know the whole city of Boston is just pissed
Yeah.
because
I
you
definitely
had
put
your whole champagne bottles on ice, ready to pop them hoes and say, "F you, Miami Dolphins." And here comes Eli Manning saying, hold my beer, bitch."
yeah. I don't yeah, I would definitely put I would
And not just
definitely put
once,
Eli. You know what?
twice.
You know who I would put? This is gonna make people really mad.
Uh oh, here
I
we
would put
go.
I would put Philip Rivers in before Ben Roethlisberger.
That was my next question. Where do you put Philip Rivers? Because
I
again,
don't
he
think
goes back
look,
to that same type of Dan Marino esque type career where all the potential in the world and just couldn't get it done. But stat wise, the man
he's
is
a freak of
up
nature.
there,
But
and he can make kids.
dude, there's the list of Hall of Fame potential is insanity. I think I'll give you who my top 5 locks for quarterback for first ballot are.
When they're
Aaron
eligible.
Rodgers,
Uh
Tom
huh.
Brady,
Uh huh.
Drew Brees.
Yes.
I think Philip Rivers still gets in. I think he's a lock. I think he's done enough with different teams because he was great at the Colts. He was good in the Colts. He just didn't have the support. Just
Right.
and he had to deal with Jim Irsay's ridiculous ass. Um,
That's four. Who's your fifth
that's
one?
4. A lock for the Hall of Fame.
Right. The
Peyton,
only other
Tom,
person I could think. Okay, you got.
Drew. Peyton, Tom, Drew,
Well, Peyton's
Philip.
technically already in. So the only logical five out there that are eligible or will be eligible in the future that I think are first ballot, like you said, Aaron, Tom, Drew Brees, Philip Rivers, and it has you have to put Eli in that mix.
Yeah,
You have
I
to.
can.
If you're not gonna put Ben up there, then it has to be Eli.
I could see that, and I think I
Because
think it
the
would
thing
be
that's helping Eli's
that
helping his conversation list is one those not just winning 2 Super Bowls, but it's
who he
who
did it
he
against.
beat
Yep.
and how he did it. Both time being a wild card team and
Yeah.
in the manner of how he won those Super Bowls. So
Yeah.
and being Super Bowl MVP in both of those. So that helps. You know what I'm saying? And
The historical significance of him beating an undefeated team in the Super Bowl definitely helps too. Um, I just there's so much talent in the quarterback position that athletics are not enough anymore, right?
no,
Like that's why
you gotta
you
show
have to
me.
show me a lot. That's why RG3 didn't work out. I like
And it wasn't
RG3.
even his fault though. It was
Nope.
Jay Gruden's fault.
Oh, they ruined him so bad, dude. He
If
was
they would
injured.
have not have did
Should
that
have
to him,
Yep. Should have been on IR. Should have never been in that
He could
game.
have had a better career in Washington if he wasn't forced to play in that playoff game.
He could have made Washington legit
Relevant.
a contender, a contender. Um,
Like
I
he was a unicorn for them, and they ruined that man by putting him in like that, and he was never the same since.
yeah. So we're gonna predict. We're gonna end up start wrapping this up. We're gonna predict week 6. All right.
Well, what's the game? What's the first game? What we got?
All right. We are going to start. That's 5. Week 6. We are going to start with Thursday's game, the Broncos at the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are going to destroy them.
That should be a gimme. Yeah.
It should.
Yeah, it should. But if Kelsey's not out there,
ooh, that's going to hurt my fantasy, bro.
yeah. It can't hurt your fantasy any more than my fantasy got hurt this week. Good Lord.
Sounds like you're upset.
Myron whooped my ass like 131-69 or some shit like that. I got destroyed.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
We digress.
Ravens versus Titans.
I want to pick Tennessee. My gut says Tennessee. But part of me is thinking the Ravens are going to go.
I usually don't bet against Lamar, but in this one,
I just feel like Tennessee's probably going to have the better game. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I just feel like they're going to have an overall better game.
Yeah.
Especially the way that the receivers are dropping balls for Lamar. It's not looking that great. And if I'm Lamar, I'm blowing all their asses up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're getting put on the spot. Panthers at Dolphins, again, a gimme game. I think Tua and the Dolphins will run all over the Panthers.
Agree. Panthers got nothing to hold on to.
Saints and Texans. This game, I think, is going to be better than it has any right to be.
I think it's going to be close, but I think New Orleans finds a way to pull it out defensively.
I think
CJ Stroud outplays Derek Carr, but I think defensively, I think the Saints are going to hold him down, and I think this is the game that CJ Stroud finally throws his first pick.
It could be. I just don't think that the Saints offense is going to have enough.
It's going to be close.
Texans look good this year, man. CJ Stroud.
Surprisingly scary good.
So CJ Stroud looks like he should have been the number 1 pick.
We were wrong about CJ Stroud, and he's letting us know about it.
Oh, yeah. And Bryce Young looks like he should be playing Pop Warner somewhere.
He should have stayed for one more year.
He should have grown 5 inches and then came into the NFL because
that's not going to happen.
He's getting destroyed.
It's not looking good.
Not at all. Commanders at Falcons. I have Falcons spanking.
I got Falcons. I think the Falcons are finding their stride.
Washington doesn't have anything that can stop Bijan.
Not a titum data. He is a Swiss Army knife.
Did you see the overhead angle of his touch? Oh my God!
He is a walking highlight reel,
dude. It's the coolest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
I don't see any other team. Ain't nobody else's team doing stuff like that.
This dude reached behind his back. If you guys haven't seen this GIF, it's a GIF of a overhead shot of Bijan running in, I think, from the 5 or something like that.
I think it's like close inside the 10. That boy one-handed that ball, tricked everybody, and then ran it in.
Not only just one-handed it, kind of put it behind his back, came
and
back,
then brought it back,
and then ate everybody's face.
He's not fair. He's not fair.
Bijan Robinson, look, I'm a Madden player, right? But when I play Madden, I like to have my teams be at 99 everything. Bijan is 99 at everything.
Like, the man's juking, his speed, his acceleration, his IQ is ridiculous.
He doesn't even need room to juke you. Like that one play.
Just be in front of me and I'm going to take you out.
Bro, literally, dude was like maybe 4 yards in front of him and was coming at a full speed, and Bijan took his ankle.
You talking about the Jacksonville game?
Yes.
And bro, he was like he had all the time in the world to figure out what he was going to do, and he still put him on his ass.
Yeah. It's not
And didn't
fair.
even touch him. He didn't even touch him.
I
He did
think
that yeet, and I'm out.
I think that I don't know
If
of
CJ
any.
Stroud doesn't get Offensive Rookie of the Year, it's going to be John Robinson without a shadow
That's
of a doubt.
exactly what I was gonna say. If it's not Bijan, it's CJ for
It's one of
offensive
them too.
rookie. Um,
Because just make a co-one. Just give it to
CJ
both of them.
Stroud is
Just give it to both of them.
CJ Stroud is balling. 5 weeks
He
in, doesn't have an
he's
interception.
broken all the rookie records that Cam Newton already put in place. God knows how long ago, and is on par to pass for over almost 4,800 yards in a rookie year.
The last person to do that, I think, was Justin Herbert in his rookie year.
And he's doing this on the Texans.
Yeah, he doesn't have wide receiver help. He doesn't have O-line help. He does. I don't.
But he is figuring it out.
Damian Pierce, I think, is the running back still.
Yeah,
Which
but
he's a good running back, but their O-line is ass.
But the fact that he's still able to figure it out on that team
with no picks,
clearly,
that's the craziest shit.
Clearly, they've moved on from the Deshaun Watson debacle and be like,
they're laughing at Cleveland hard.
You can have all that $253 million. We're good over here.
Yeah.
We're good over here.
Next game is Colts at Jags.
I got the Jags. I have to, but it's like it's not by a lot.
I have the Colts, and again, it's not by a lot. And the only reason I'm taking the Colts over the Jags is because, well, actually, you know what? I'm lying.
Because Gardner Minshew's starting.
I have to take the Jags because AR5 is out. Yeah.
For at least, they're saying out indefinitely. They didn't put a timetable yet on his return yet, and it's a sprained AC joint in his throwing arm.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's not taken away from Minshew's ability, but
Minshew's not he's not Anthony Richardson. I love Minshew. When he came in for us last year for Philly, he did a serviceable job. But Gardner Minshew's not a starting quarterback.
However, he's going against the quarterback that replaced him a couple years ago.
True.
But I'm like, T-Law is beyond. He's levels ahead of Minshew as far as what he can do.
They play the same position, but it's like Gardner Minshew, Trevor Lawrence.
And then you got Dougie P back there with him, walking T-Law like a puppet, making him look like this.
The same shit he did with Carson Wentz.
So I'm like, the only difference is Trevor Lawrence can do it for long periods of time. Yeah. No offense.
Yeah, Carson Wentz was a flash in the pan. Nobody saw him coming because he wasn't a Power 5 school quarterback.
But I'm picking the Jags.
I can see that. It wouldn't take much to if Anthony Richardson was playing, I would take the Colts.
Right.
Next game is Seahawks and Bengals. I got the Seahawks.
I got the Bengals.
We'll see.
It's like I can't bet against Joe Burrows. I know he's playing like dog water right now. But I'm like, we know what him and Chase can do. You know what I'm saying? We know what they're capable of.
He has a wide receiver one. That's the problem.
And like he remembered last week. He remembered last week.
I'm not even going to put it on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was injured. They played him too soon. They should have kept him out the first couple of weeks.
Absolutely. That calf injury definitely has been playing a factor at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, because
if nobody believes that, they're retarded.
Joe Burrow doesn't have Philly's offensive line. He has Cincinnati's offensive line.
They're not holding anything back.
That 3 years ago, Joe Burrow got sacked like 90 some odd times.
And still made it to the Super Bowl.
And still went to the goddamn. Yes, still went to the Super Bowl. So I think, again, this is another game that it wouldn't take much to move me to the Bengals side. I think everything's gonna depend on how the first quarter goes.
I think if Seattle wins, I think the biggest factor is going to be Walker, their running back, because that man is he's
their
scary.
Defense is going to play a big factor in it too.
Yes.
If their defense can hold, then they have a shot. Next is Vikings and Bears. I'm going Chicago.
I'm like, you don't got Jay Jetta, so you have nobody to throw to.
Yeah.
We are going to put a whooping like they've never seen before.
I hope
And I pray to
every
God that we just murder them on television.
I hope every defensive play y'all have 7 in the box and are just
Smashing them.
smashing Kirk Cousins. Just like,
What
look,
what's that?
Chicago.
What's that clip on Remember Titans? You better get real comfortable down there.
Yeah, you won't be there for a while. Look, Dick Butkus just passed away.
And you
When Dick
saw what we did.
when Dick Butkus was playing for Chicago, it was grind your face into the dirt. You're not gonna breathe. You're not gonna get possession of the football.
Your
And if you
jersey is
do,
getting dirty.
oh yeah, and if you do, you're going to get hurt.
And we're playing in Chicago.
Yeah.
We already upset. Now you're giving us a reason because we got a little hope because of what happened last week, and now we're coming into a. Listen, I understand that you want to play a team at its best. However, if you're gonna come to our stadium to Soldier Field, and you're not gonna have your top offensive weapon, I'm gonna embarrass you.
Oh yeah, especially with somebody like. I mean, the
Because you're
only good
telling me
thing.
Addison is going to be enough for you to carry this team. I'm not saying Addison isn't a good receiver. He's a
Well,
rookie though.
they also
Let's get it together.
we also are forgetting T.J. Hawkinson, their tight end, who's a monster.
I hear
But
you.
but
He
if
ain't running like Jay Jetta routes though.
there's
Not,
there's nobody in the NFC that runs Jay Jetta routes.
and
Like
they
that
don't
dude
got
is
no running game like that. Again, we already know last year when they
dude.
won all those games, they were all by 1 points or 3 points.
Yeah.
Those don't work anymore.
Nope. You cannot sustain a season. You cannot maintain winning if you can't at least get 2 scores on somebody. Like
And now you
everybody's
don't
like,
have your top receiver.
oh yeah, no, we're gonna see how bad Kirk Cousins really is. The
And I'm
next
here for
game,
it.
49ers and the Browns. I think this game might be a little bit better than people think.
I still got the Niners, but I agree. I
I
don't
do
think because
too.
again, you can't plan for Miles Garrett.
Oh
That
my
man
god.
is an anomaly that you just can't. You
There are very few people where you have to literally have somebody watching them the entire game.
he's
Miles
one of
Garrett,
those.
if you let him get away, you're done. You're screwed. Miles Garrett was literally on the defensive line, crossing up offensive linemen, telling them where he was going to go, and
And
he still
still
did
getting
it.
your man.
So
They
I
don't
think,
call him the QB Grim Reaper for no
oh my
reason.
dude,
And
I
we're in the month of October.
I think Brock is about to face the most.
Brock is about to get his name added to that gravestone.
Yeah, he's gonna face the most intense. Now,
Micah
if
Parsons ain't no chump. Don't get
if
it twisted.
that's what I was gonna say, if they can figure out how to do to Miles Garrett what they did to Micah Parsons, but Miles Garrett
Miles
ain't Micah
Garrett is
Parsons.
different. Miles Garrett is different. He
Miles
is
Garrett
him.
is a guy that double teams aren't gonna work on.
He is him.
Yeah, he's one
If
of
it
the guys
wasn't
on.
for if it wasn't for Aaron Donald being in the same thing, he probably would have got a couple of defensive player of the years already.
Oh,
If it wasn't for Miles
absolutely.
Garrett, I mean for Aaron Donald. If it wasn't for that guy, 99 for the Rams, he could have had it. Like Miles Garrett is again. You just don't let him sit in the box and think that nothing's gonna happen. It's not. It don't work that way.
No,
So
you
I
have
still
to
pick.
account for him.
I still pick the Niners,
I just
but I don't think it's gonna be like
it ain't
they
gonna be
not
the
drop.
Dallas
No,
game.
no.
The
I
defense
don't
for
believe that.
the defense for Cleveland has been too consistent. And Miles Garrett, like you said, that he's one of those dudes that if I saw him rushing at me, I'd be like, "Oh my god!" He's
Listen,
just
he's
you talk
just
about a
built.
walking. This is what he looks like. He looks like a walking, talking, ass kicking, melanated statue. Like the dude is just cut to shit, and he will eat your soul.
And you know what makes it even weirder? He is a nerd.
He's one of the nicest guys in the NFL.
He is a nerd, but he will eat you
Yes.
alive on that field.
Yes. Next game, we have the battle of the horribles. We have Raiders versus Pats. I don't care.
Do we have to watch that game?
No, absolutely not. The only
I'm like,
person
I'm
I
picking
feel,
the Raiders probably. I
yeah, the only
guess.
person I feel bad for in that game is Devontae Adams.
Bless his soul. He has to
I
just
know
endure
he's
that trash.
pissed. He's so
Hell yeah. Like that he just went from being on a dominant team, a playoff team, year in, year out, to being
with arguably one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
you've had the same quarterback practically your whole career to now your first 2 years out of Green Bay, you're on your second quarterback already.
Yeah.
Like
Second head
and
coach? No.
no, it's the
No,
same
it's
one.
Jaden McDaniels. I didn't know if
But
he was
it
still
is
there from the
but
end of the
but
Gruden
your
era.
quarterback didn't get any better from Derek Carr to Jimmy G. Like you didn't get better.
No, you stayed the exact same. And in fact,
Like
you actually might have gotten worse.
like it's you did nothing to make me want to re-sign with you guys in the future.
No, I think this is absolutely his last year in Las Vegas.
I'm like he's gonna probably request a trade in the offseason. Like, hey yo, get me the hell
Whoever
out of
picks
here.
him up, they
Watch
gotta.
him go to the Jets.
Oh God!
Watch him go to the Jets.
As long as he doesn't go to the Giants, the Cowboys, or the Commodores, I'm cool.
Watch this man go to the Jets to team back up with Aaron Rodgers for one more year. That city is gonna go nuts. But
Next
I
game,
digress.
Lions at the Buccaneers. I got the Lions by a
Lions
lot
tearing them up.
because I think
Once Baker Mayfield's about to meet Aiden Hutchinson a bunch of times, they're
well,
gonna get real acquainted.
not just Aiden Hutchinson. You got Aiden Hutchinson you got to deal with. You got Malcolm Rodriguez, who's their middle linebacker, who was an undrafted free agent last year, who's
And
insane.
balling his ass out.
Insane. And
And
that's not even
that's
talking
just a
about the
couple of
offense.
people,
Yeah.
right?
We're not talking
Like,
about the offense. We're not talking about Jamison Williams. We're not talking about
and he's making his debut this week,
we're
so
not
you know
talking.
he's ready to show out.
Yep.
But
Now,
go ahead.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is out. So there's one of your deep threats. But Jamison Williams is just as fast.
That's a very good plug-in for that. If
Yep.
one's out, plug him back in, and
The only other issue that they have is Jahmyr Gibbs is out.
But David Montgomery, as much as I hate to see him in that blue and silver, he is balling out in Detroit, balling out, and he is showing why he was a high draft pick 4 years ago with the Chicago Bears, and we let him walk, and I don't blame him because we was one. Even though we offered him more money, I wouldn't want to play for us either. If you know that you have the potential to have, clearly he bet on himself, and it is paying off right now. And he's on a 4-1 team, looking like
Looking to
fantastic.
be one of the top 5 teams in the league.
Like
And
he
dude,
made
I
the
will
right
tell you,
decision.
yeah, absolutely. I will tell you that Detroit Philly trade for Swift was probably the best trade that worked out for both sides in the
Because they
last.
got to pick up, y'all got a good a running back in Swift, and then they were able to go pick up David Montgomery.
Yeah. So I think,
Like
dude,
Monty is playing his ass off in Detroit.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, there's a group that I'm part of for Chicago Bears, and shout out to my Bears. I hate you, but I love you. Like I don't
You and
understand.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah. I hate them, but I love them. Um, this is my thing, and you can agree or disagree with me if you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
I can't. David Montgomery didn't do nothing bad to us as an organization. So I'm not about to sit here and talk ill will about this man and be like, why are y'all congratulating him? He's a division rival. Listen, at the end of the day, the man is still balling up. I hate Aaron Rodgers, but the man was still destroying us
You
every
have to
season.
give credit where credit is due.
I'm like LeBron James. He was killing us. We were in the same division, but he was killing us. Listen. I am a fan of the game at the end of the day,
Dude.
and I am going to show respect to where respect is earned. And right now, David Montgomery, 5 games into the season, is doing what he is paid to be doing right now in Detroit, and that is balling out. And he's helping that team win games.
Absolutely. And that's the thing too, is like We drafted Devontae Smith the pick before the Cowboys got Micah Parsons. We
And
went
y'all
10
could have
days and
easily
11.
picked. You could have easily picked Michael Parsons.
We could have, and I don't mind giving players like you were saying. I don't mind giving individual people credit. I think Micah Parsons might be one of the best defensive players we've seen in 20 years. He's that good when he's allowed to do what he's allowed to do. Now, can he be schemed for
Yeah.
and taken out? Yes.
Who can't?
But
Who
so did
can't?
So can Aaron Donald. So did Ray. There were games where Ray Lewis didn't have big ball,
Listen, everybody
ridiculous
can
games.
be gets planned against and
Yeah.
shut down, and they're
The
not
more
they're
yeah,
not the focal point of whatever, whether it's offense or defense. It can be
the more
done.
tape, yes, the more tape a team has on you, the more they know your tendencies, they can plan for them. So, look, the thing about the thing is I think the Buccaneers are not going to like having Detroit come into their stadium.
No,
It's gonna not be fun. Next
it's
game,
no.
Cardinals versus Rams. I go
Rams.
Rams here. I
Um,
just Josh
it wouldn't
Dobbs.
surprise me, but I still pick the Rams.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs is doing the best that he can. In fact, he's doing really well for a
He's doing
journeyman.
better than people thought. Especially because
Oh
he got
yeah,
there 2 weeks before the season started,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I think he's doing well. I just don't. Having seen Cooper Cup's back, dude, he
and
had
he
a
played like he
shit,
didn't miss a beat. He didn't miss a beat.
bro. He came back, no touchdowns. We shut him down in the second quarter, but in the second half, the first half he had 118 yards on one of the best defenses in the league. Tampa or Arizona ain't got our defense. Buda Baker's on the pup list. Like
Yes,
you're gonna be dealing with it. And
it's not going to work for him.
even if you lock Cooper Cup up, have you heard of Puka Nakua?
And he even with Cooper Cup back, he still was balling out on the other side. So
He still
you
got 70 yards
so
and a
you
touchdown.
you got to deal with both them white boys.
Yeah. Well, white boy and Samoan.
Either way, it's not looking good.
No. Next game, Eagles at Jets. I think we take this game. I think
It
it's
ain't gonna be pretty.
no. I think
It
it's
is
gonna
gonna be
be
an ugly win.
I think it's gonna be a running game. I don't think we're gonna pass that much because you don't want to. I love AJ Brown, but they're gonna put sauce on him. That's a hard matchup for anybody, right? Now, if AJ can do to him what he did to Emmanuel Forbes, but I, I don't. I think Sauce is better than Emmanuel Forbes, and he has a
But you
year in
still
the
got
NFL.
Smith. So either way, y'all have a plan B.
Yeah. I mean, we have a plan B. We have
And then
Dallas
you
Goddard
got
for plan
Gainwell,
C.
you got Swift. So
Yeah,
you have options.
we have
Make it
offensive
work.
options. I think where we have the advantage is our defense versus their offense. Zach Wilson is ass. He's ass. I don't care what anybody says about he's special in his own unique way. Shut up. No,
So
he's
you
not.
saying Chandler Jones is capping?
Yes,
All right,
ab-
all right.
absolutely. Look, Zach Wilson, the only good thing he's ever done is wait,
Get drafted.
not, yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's no accomplishment there, right? Like, and
I
I'm
think
not
not
saying that.
having Aaron Rodgers is hurting him
Oh, so bad.
future wise.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't think, and look, I think Garrett Wilson is a hell of a receiver. I think Brees Hall is a good running back, right? Even sometimes a great running back. I don't know that their offensive line is going to be able to stop Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham.
Yeah.
Plus, we're getting N'Kobe Dean back. They activated his 21-day practice window, so we may not get him back for this game, but we might.
But he's back.
So I think our defense is going to be the big factor in this game. We'll see. This is the difference between this year and last year for me with the Eagles. Last year in week 5, we were cruising.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what to expect. They didn't have tape on AJ and Jalen together. They didn't have real tape on AJ. Um, in this scheme, they didn't have a whole lot of idea how the interaction between Devontae and AJ would work. So we were killing people.
Yeah.
Now they have a year of tape on us, and we're figuring out how to make halftime adjustments. But we have to do that, right? So I think that the biggest thing is our wins are not coming nearly as easy as they were last year. But like Jalen says, we got to keep the main thing the main thing. In the NFL, the only thing that matters is a dub. You get the dub, nothing
A
else
win is
matters.
a win.
Yeah.
A win is a
Stack
win.
wins. So I have the Eagles there. I have them. I have us going 6-0 um, into you know into New York, which we actually play. The Jets have never beat Jalen Hurts, so and we play really well in Meth Life Stadium, as my boy Chisel Adonis calls it, Meth Life Stadium, um, the worst stadium in the history of the NFL. Um,
They're in
so
Jersey. It's not a New York team. I just want
that's
everybody
true.
to know that.
That's very true. So I think the Eagles got this game. What do you think?
I believe it. I believe it.
I just think we can bully them into submission. Um, next game is the Giants and the Bills.
I got the
I don't.
Bills.
I've got the Bills too, but I don't think this is a gimme the same way that people think.
What?
So here's the thing. I
I
don't
need
think the
I need
Giants are going to win.
explanations.
I don't think the Giants are going to win. I don't even think they're going to. I don't think they're going to keep it super close, but I don't see it being more than a 2-score game. I see 28-14 Bills. You
Ooh,
still have to account for Saquon Barkley.
I hear you. But is Jones out or is he cleared yet?
He's out.
So Tyrod
Uh,
Taylor's the QB.
Tyrod Taylor's in. Athletically, I take Tyrod Taylor over Daniel Jones. For extending the play purposes, I think Tyrod Taylor can do it.
I got to
Um,
see it. Because I'm not taking away
I
from
don't.
Taylor's ability, but it's just
I don't
I
think the.
think
I don't think the Giants are going to win. I think the Bills are going to win by 2 touchdowns or 2 scores, but I don't think it's going to be the blowout that everybody thinks. Just because, and I'll tell you why. The Bills should have beat Jacksonville. They didn't show up to close out. They just couldn't close it out, right? If you don't close that, look, I don't care what anybody says. If you don't close a team out in the National Football League, you can lose to anybody.
very, very much.
So we'll see. I think the Bills win. I don't think it's as close or as big of a gap as people think. Last game of the week, Chargers at the Cowboys, or no, Cowboys at the Chargers. Sorry. Look, I'm
My
going.
gut says the Chargers.
Mine too. I'm
Because
going.
I think Justin Herbert is just a better overall quarterback right now than Dak. And that's not saying a lot because we still don't have a lot on Justin Herbert to say he's an elite QB as of yet. Is he a
Just,
great quarterback? Yes.
just
Is he?
stats. I mean, we don't have any results-driven evidence.
I'm like stats are cool, but you're still not
You
winning
can't. You
games.
haven't done
You're
anything in the postseason. Nothing.
you
The
lost to
one time you
Jacksonville
get there,
last year after he threw 4 interceptions
and Jacksonville still came back and spanked that at. Like, you cannot let a quarterback on the opposing team get 4 picks and then
and
come
still
back and
come back and
spank
beat
you.
you. It don't
He
work that
made
way.
you. Jacksonville now is the Chargers' father. Like, it just. That's how it works.
I own
Like,
you.
he owns you. So
I
this
just
could be the start. This could be the start of a glorious 3-game skid for Dallas.
it
Which
could
I'm
definitely be the downfall for them.
I'm if Dallas goes on a 3-game skid, because this will be loss number 3, right? If they lose this
Yeah,
game,
if they lose this, they'll be 3-3.
if they go on a 3-game skid, I think they fire Mike McCarthy because Jerry Jones is pissed. Did you
And
hear
this
what
is
he
the
said about
thing.
CeeDee
Who
Lamb? So
What
a
did he say?
reporter asked him, he was like, "Hey, Jerry, do you think your wide receiver one, do you think CeeDee Lamb should be getting more targets?" He was like, "I don't know about all that." That's
And
your
then
wide receiver one, and you're gonna smack him in the press like that?
this is the thing. This is how I see it. In the next couple years, one of two things is going to happen. One, Michael Parsons is going to leave and go home.
He's from Philly, y'all.
If that young man goes to the Eagles in the next couple years, everybody just quit. Just give up. Because
Micah
ain't no
Parsons,
way in hell
yo,
anybody's going to score on that defense.
Micah Parsons, Hassan Reddick. So let's do it like this. Let's say
And
we
he didn't
even
even say
lose.
Jalen Carter, y'all. He just said Hassan Reddick and Michael Parsons. He
Let's
just talking about the linebackers. He not
let's
talking about them
no
four big old humans that are sitting in
no.
the front.
So let's do it even like this, right? So let's say we lose a Josh Sweat and Micah Parsons becomes an edge guy. Micah Parsons on the
That
edge.
should be illegal.
Micah Parsons on the edge with Hassan Reddick on the opposite end. With between them is Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Behind them is N'Kobe Dean and Nolan Smith. That the entire first two levels of that defense is all pro.
I'm calling it today, October 9th, October 10th, on a Tuesday at 9:42 p.m. These are my two hot takes for the night. Michael Parsons going back to Philly to go back to Pennsylvania to go play for home. And then out of spite, CeeDee Lamb is going to take his country bumpkin self down south to go play for the Texans and CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And
I can
Jerry Jones is going to cry like a little baby back
bitch.
because he done lost two of his franchise key players to rival teams, not only
Yo,
in state but in division. You
if
heard it
he
here first. He's going home.
you know what's funny is I don't think Mike is going to be the only person to leave either. I think Leighton Vander Esch I think is done after this year with
He
another
gets
neck
hurt
injury.
too much.
That's what I'm saying. He's done after this year. So you're losing Leighton Vander Esch, who's a leader on your defense. You could potentially lose Michael Parsons to the Eagles, which I don't know
Unless
what
they
number he
tag
would
him.
wear. I don't know what number he would wear because AJ Brown's 11. But
I would give up my number.
you know what you should? Oh my God, what would be cool is if Michael Parsons did a 00.
I don't think that's allowed. But he did tease that he was gonna go to zero at some point. Maybe he be like, "Hey, yo, Swift,
I'll give you a
let
five.
me,
I'll give you 5K. Just let's quit,
listen, I give you 5K and I pay for all your dinners for the rest of the year. You give
bro.
me that zero." I'll be
Bro,
like, "Where I sign?
do you? I don't think
I'll
people
wear.
look.
I'll even let you pick my number."
I don't get very excited about shit that's not happening, but
That's
has
happening,
potential to
bro.
happen.
There's just this is my thing. There's no way. I get it. In the draft room, Micah said he wanted to play for the Cowboys because of where the draft was going, where the list was at.
Yeah.
But there's just no way on this green earth that when Philly played Houston in the World Series, you caught that man wearing a Phillies uniform, and then Jalen was wearing Houston. We all know Michael Parsons, if he had the opportunity, because
Oh, he'd jump on it.
9 times out of 10, he's probably gonna get franchise tagged. If for some reason you would have to convince him that the next 2 years are gonna be great, you have to play to a way to convince him to stay. But if you, as Jerry Jones, can't find a way to convince Micah to stay, and he has a window to go play at home in front of his home crowd and wear that Kelly green one time.
Oh, Micah
You
Parsons.
are ridiculously slow and living under a rock with Patrick Starr to think that he won't jump on that.
Micah Parsons and Kelly Green would be
This is the thing. You saw his little podcast episode. He is not happy with the
Oh
way that they
no,
performed on Sunday. He is pissed.
well, not just that. He's pissed at Jerry because Jerry constantly shits on players in the media. Like Jerry Jones is the
I don't want
only
to play
owner.
for an owner like that. I don't
Yeah,
want to be part of an organization
no,
that you got your players out there busting their ass off, and you over here talking about I don't know
yeah,
about all that. What you mean
yeah.
you don't know? You
He's your wide
drafted
receiver
me.
one. He's
Like
your.
who else is he targeting more than anybody? Come on, like
That's
you're gonna have to tell
crazy.
me that your
And then
tight end is
especially,
more important
yeah,
than
especially you have owners like, obviously I'll use Jeffrey Lurie, who, if you ask him about Jalen Hurts, it's only good things to say. Ask him about AJ Brown, it's only good things to say.
I'm telling
Even
you right
when
now, you guys get Micah Parsons. I am going to not watch football for the next 3 years after he signs that contract because there's just no way the potential that you already have on defense, and then the maturity that Micah Parsons is going to have in the next 2 to 3 years that he's going to develop as a leader of a defensive team. A leader, because that man is not just some guy that's on the team. He
yeah,
is the leader of that defense on the Cowboys.
yeah,
And if you want to say anything else, if you want to tell me, well, I don't know, you're stupid. Whether you like the Cowboys or not, it's undoubtedly noticeable. You can see it as Stevie Wonder. Micah Parsons is the guy on that defense, and he's
yeah.
not even at his peak yet. That is the
No,
scary part.
no, he's that yo. Like I said, I don't get excited about things that have not come to fruition very much. But to see Micah Parsons in an Eagles jersey, let's say just for kicks and gigs. Well, you can't. I was gonna give him number 5. You can't give him number 5 because it's already retired with Donovan McNabb.
Let's just say
Let's just
he can
say,
get zero.
he
Let's
says,
say he can get zero. Because Swift said you can have whatever number you want, bro. You can even pick my number. I don't give a hell.
yeah, because I'll wear something else.
But let's say he's able to pull off zero. Or what would be a sick number to see that man in?
You know what would be great is if he took Penny's jersey number and became 23. He's a Jordan athlete. Micah
Nah,
Parsons.
zero. Because it's like I give zero fucks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could see that.
But
I
just
think
the fact that you see Parsons' name on the back of an Eagles jersey, just forget the number. Just you see the man's name on an Eagles
we've
jersey.
the last time we traded with the Cowboys was DeMarco Murray, and that didn't work
That
out.
didn't work out. But that's
Actually,
also
no,
Chip
I'm
Kelly's
lying.
fault.
I'm lying. We got that stupid douchebag Orlando Scandrick from them too. That guy was a piece of shit.
But DeMarco Murray wasn't that was
That's not Chip
definitely
Kelly
majority
not
of Chip
using him.
Kelly's.
Yeah,
But if
but
you're
yeah,
able to pull off a Michael Parsons signing in the next 2 to 3 years,
let me ask you this: would you give a first rounder for Michael Parsons?
yeah, I'd give my left titty for him.
Okay, good. Because I was like,
This is the thing. Micah Parsons is a generational player. Like
dude, in
he doesn't get
2025's draft, we have 2 first round picks
this is the thing. Michael Parsons doesn't get in trouble. He doesn't
at
get
all.
do anything outside of football. Like you don't see any negative things on him. So to realistically say you can't get a first rounder for Micah, maybe even 2, depending on what that package looks like.
I
I could
would.
risk 2
I was gonna
with
say
a couple 6, a
I could
couple
see.
4.
Yeah, I could see doing a first, a third, and then Josh Sweat from Michael Parsons, and I
Where
think
do I
that's
sign?
feasible.
And as soon as he agrees to that trade, hey, come get this extension real quick.
Oh yeah, it's
Because
definitely gonna be a signing
I
trade.
gotta lock you down, sir, for the next 5 years.
I think if we could do that, I think we'd have to give him the AJ Brown deal, 4 years, $100 million.
Sign that man.
Because 4 years,
You don't trade for him, a person like him, and don't expect, hey, if you're coming over here, just know you inking some contracts for the next 4 or 5 years.
yes.
Because this isn't a rental. You're
So
over here for a minute.
let's just think about this, right? So Michael Parsons has 4 sacks this year.
Okay.
Jalen Carter has 3.5 sacks this year. Hassan Reddick has 3 sacks this year. Jordan Davis has a sack and a half this year. Fletcher Cox already has a sack this year. So you're talking in the 5th game, if you put Micah Parsons with us, if he was with us this year, we would already have almost 30 sacks.
There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
There's nothing to talk about.
dude,
There's nothing to talk about. It's a
you
simple
have
fact of the matter is in
you have
2000,
given me hope that I didn't want to have for getting Micah Parsons, because
what
if
do
we
they call
got
the Rams in 2000? The greatest show on turf.
yeah, oh my
Y'all
god,
gonna be the greatest sack on earth.
bro, if we I mean, look, Philly was only 2 sacks away last year from breaking the record, 3 sacks away last year from breaking the record. If you put Micah fucking Parsons,
Who you double teaming? Because that's stupid.
you can't. There's nobody you can double
You
team
gotta
because,
go straight up with every person going in that box.
dude, your entire we wouldn't even have to stack the box. Not really. You'd have Micah
Most teams are gonna
Parsons,
have to run 2 running backs because somebody got to stop one of these
dude.
niggas from coming.
We could rush 4, and it would be better than most teams' front 7.
And you probably still couldn't stop them.
Dude, think about that. Micah Parsons on the right, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Hassan
Don't let
Reddick,
Slay come from the outside rushing in.
or Nakobe Dean, or Nolan Smith, or how do you stop? Oh my God. All right, we got to end this podcast because now I'm drooling about getting Micah Parsons on the
I
Eagles.
think I just gave him a hard one.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Hey, you got a little bit of saliva on your lip.
Fucking, it's the only time I can say, like, I would give the Cowboys a first rounder for him.
It would be worth it.
I think so. If Jerry Jones was ever stupid enough to let Micah Parsons go, dude, if you're Steven Jones and you find out your dad traded Micah Parsons to the Eagles, do you have him committed right away or do you wait a day?
I would probably be like, "This ain't real. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to make sure that this is real." And then I'm gonna come across ESPN and be like, "Oh man, this is real."
Just think about it. Even if Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox both retire, right? Because you're talking about 13 years in the league on the same team.
Y'all are still scary.
We're still the best defensive line in the league.
And then you add Michael Parsons to that,
bro. It would literally be like LSU going against a Pop Warner team versus the entire league.
You know what it would be? So in NBA 2K, there's certain teams you can't play with. If I see an eagle come across your damn screen, I'm like, change it right now. You can't play with them. Change it right now.
It would be like the Madden 05 Patriots.
It's not fair.
Or not the Madden 05.
It's when Randy Moss went over there, and it was just offensively just unacceptably unfair. I'm like, how do you guard Randy Moss?
What makes it even better is that move would finish everything because you don't have to add any pieces to the offense. Our offense is good enough as it is.
You don't need Michael Parsons. That's the terrifying part.
I know. That's the
But if there's a way that you could pull off either a sign and trade or just a straight up like, hey, I don't want to play for Dallas anymore. I want to come home. What do I got to do? Sign the damn paper?
Well,
what do you want?
Yeah, no shit. You saw the draft. Micah Parsons, AJ Brown was like, Micah, stop bullshitting. You know you want to be an Eagle already. Like, come home. Like, AJ Brown's trying to recruit him to the Eagles. Shit.
I'm telling you right now, October 10th.
If we ever get somebody the caliber of Micah Parsons on our defense, like our defense, the chat, y'all will have to mute me.
I'm telling you right now, it's gonna happen.
I will be unshut upable. Like, you guys, yeah. We're gonna end this show because now I'm coming up with different fucking concepts and formations with Michael Parsons on the line. And anyways,
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, I say it every week. If you need to talk, you know where we're at. DM us. We'll figure it out. Paul, you got anything you need to say before we head out?
Man, I've missed you. I've missed all of you. Sorry that we've been gone for so long. We won't do it again, at least anytime soon. But
Yeah.
we missed you. Um, just stick it out with us. Stick it out. Just stick it out.
Yeah. I promise we're still working out the kinks. The show that this is only show 13. So we're still working out the kinks and getting everything figured. I do have some, for you guys who watch on the YouTube channel, there is a new video element that I got created that we'll be adding onto our YouTube videos.
Yes.
Um, and it's dope. For you guys who don't know, I, along with Paul, I'm bringing Paul in on this. We're starting a media company called Chaotic Creations. The goal is to produce podcasts, to have a photography division, a videography division, um, consulting, writing, all of that stuff. Obviously, it's in its infancy stages. But if you're listening and you know somebody who knows how to produce podcasts, who wants the opportunity, it's not a paying gig because we don't even get paid to do the show.
This is definitely an internship.
Yeah, it's definitely a hey, I want to get the experience and build a resume thing. If you know anybody like that, email me at your heat check sports@gmail.com or Ferrell FERRELL Michael MICHAEL the number 5 at gmail.com. Just put in the subject line podcast producer. Um, I want to bring somebody in to kind of be the third main cog in the wheel, somebody who can see the vision from the ground up, like me and Paul, and is willing to eat crow a little bit until we can get the vision up and running. Um, I am in the process. Obviously, I had a logo made. I had a signature logo made for myself that says owner of Chaotic Creations. So things we're starting to get everything going in the right direction. The plan is to make this an actual LLC, an actual business. My wife is telling me to wrap up the podcast. Uh,
Mine just texted me.
yeah. So look, you guys, we love you. Just know there's some really exciting shit coming in the future. Friday, I think we're gonna do. I want to do a Friday. I want to do an episode where it's just wrestling because we've missed a
Oh,
lot in wrestling too.
there's a lot going on. A
So
lot going on.
Friday, you guys are gonna get another episode that is only wrestling, and we'll talk from there. But until Friday, you guys, thank you for watching. I I love the support. We appreciate it, and keep watching. There's some cool shit coming.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
Peace.